Always welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's here at terms only. The investment that we talk today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. So it's my second video that I'm posting again today. With respect to the recording time of 4:50 p.m. on the Eastern time. Current trade $3,115, down about 1% so far. In addition to the sell-off that we're seeing in the crypto side of the house, it's been a relatively red day on the equity side at the same time due to the key catalyst of the Jackson Hole speech that's percolating for tomorrow, but also with respect to the worsening news around the Taliban takeover Afghanistan news that's been percolating on the media front as well. So with respect to Ethereum, we are enduring some selling pressure, despite the anticipated pressure that we should be expecting for the Ethereum-based events, the virtual conference that will be durating from the 26th or the 29th, which subsequently, should drive some anticipated pressure on top of the Jackson Hole anticipated pressure at the same time. And seems like on the investment sentiment side is driving a little bit more negative, right? In addition to that catalyst, the two key catalysts that we mentioned, also the weekend affectation that we should be expecting for tomorrow on Friday, right? And coincidentally, with respect to some of the news I've been collecting for the last 6 hours so far, it's been a relatively busy day for me. I've been in meetings back to back, just meeting with potential investors, but also talking to my teammates about potential deal that we're closing. Some of the news that's been percolating so far in the last 6 hours has been a collection of relatively negative news for some reason. So first one coming from Bazinga about 3 hours ago, talk about Ethereum tumbled by more than 6% in the recent time frame. And then another one on Bazinga talk about Ethereum down about 3.5% after a week. So I'm not sure why these are worth mentioning as some sort of a media affectation. It seems like Bazinga is trying to take the other side of the coin. In comparisons to weeks ago, I could have sworn we saw a lot of positive news that's been percolating around the fork, around the global adoptions with respect to PayPal shifting to the UK side of the world, to just a lot of NFT adoptions on a commercialization perspective as well. So it seems like they are taking the other side of the coin right now. So not sure what's going on, but using our spidey sense, we can detect these type of pattern, right? Another one comes from Decrypt an hour ago talking about, now you can use your .com domain to send and receive Ethereum. Just another type of trivial news, if you may, not really a substantive one. Another one that came out from CNBC about 5 hours ago, talking about a 33-year-old investor became a Dogecoin millionaire this year. And he believes that Cardano could be the next crypto as he plans to go all in. I'm not sure what that really means, right? Going all in is definitely not advisable typically. I think that's, investing is a form of risk mitigation and risk control. Going all in, it's a risky move, right? And I'd rather be safe than sorry. So best of luck to this guy, whoever this guy is. And with respect to the next article came out from Cointelegraph 9 hours ago, talk about the London fork impact. How much Ethereum 2.0, has been burning Ethereum so far, and with respect to the foreshadow of the market catalyst coming forward. What will be the price predictions for the price point for Ethereum going forward? So it doesn't really give you a specified number per this article on Cointelegraph, but it's good to know that we've been burning Ethereum, and logically speaking, by burning in the supply and demand dynamic perspective, it should subsequently drive more price sensitivity, right, which subsequently should escalate the price level for Ethereum going forward, right? So a mixed bag of like negative news, specifically from Bazinga, but some positive news at the same time, but not really anything substantively to support Ethereum, right? So with respect to the conference that we have for tomorrow for Ethereum and the Jackson Hole speech, I think the cows is relatively binary. But on top of the Afghanistan news that's been percolating so far, we are still trading on a sideways fashion. We did break the 3,150, as today's high was 3,167. We broke that. We try to get to the $3,050 level, which we got there today as well. And we basically struggle like holding on to the cliff, if you may, right? So tomorrow is going to be a binary outcome, but ultimately we are not wizards. Again, we do not predict the future. nor do we have the ability to, right? Because there are too many factors that's in play. We just have to keep an eye out on how we could risk mitigate by dollar cost averaging wisely, right? So the level that we identify is 3,000, 2,750, and 2,450. And with MACD is cooling down right now because we've been durating for such a long time. RSI is slowly cooling off right now. So that's a good sign. We like to cool off, right? So if you want to buy in 3,000, knowing the fact that we're cooling off, that could be interesting, but you have to understand that whatever goes up really, really fast has to come down just as fast. So the risk is still high, but it's a little bit better now. It was like, we're running really, really hot, like 100,000 miles per hour. We're probably pulling back like halfway now, at the 54 mark, right? Which is great, right? And just to, look at the psychology chart again, right? It seems like we are in the complacency stage, right? And we surged up a little bit to try to test the 3,385, but we never got there. So the chart is very comparable based on how the psychology is playing out right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear a subsequent negative news coming to basically match with this subsequent or not subsequent, the consecutive positive news that we were having ever since the B Word Summit, right? So something to be mindful of. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually sell down back to the 2,450 again, right? But per the chart you see here, it seems like we're matching with the disbelief level that we had prior, which was back to the 1750. But again, the 1750 would make sense if there was no consolidation ever. We had two consolidation levels, right? So I think 2,450 should technically be the bottom now, if the technical plays out again, right? But we have to keep watching the movie by understanding the dynamics, and I would practice patience right now. But if you want to risk incur, by just having some skin in the game right now, I think buying at the $3,000 mark, 2,750, 2,450, starting with 3,000 just to swing trade, bet that it will stay above 3,000, but I think the likelihood will be relatively low. But if you want to hold for long term one is 9,800, 3.3 times your money from here, which is still a good outcome ultimately. But for me, I'll just wait until 2,750, 2,450 as a better level for me to dollar cost average at. So hopefully this is helpful. And that's pretty much it for today with respect to my second video on Ethereum. Hopefully you find this helpful into how you triangulate and execute your price level going forward with these relatively volatile times that we're experiencing right now. Really appreciate you and stay tuned for us to come up. Take care. Bye.